Every harvest season, wild animals return like a nightmare, destroying in hours what took months to grow. Just days ago, a nearly ripe rice field was torn apart overnight, our hard work reduced to nothing. When no one listens to the farmers, we have only one option left: pick up our rifles and defend what's ours. This time, we fight back. Let's begin.
Arkadaşlar bugün bayağı rüzgarlı bir.
We arrived in the rural outskirts south of Albany, Georgia, an area that has taken a hard hit from the exploding wild pig population. According to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, feral hogs cause an estimated $150 million in crop damage every year across the state. With equipment prepped and strategy in place, we split into teams and set up ambush points near the edge of the forest bordering the fields. The plan was simple: let habit do the work. These boars often return to the same feeding spots, and sure enough, as dusk settled in, movement stirred the brush. I raised my rifle and broke the silence with a shot that echoed through the trees. One shadow dropped, then another. Half an hour later, more boars appeared, this time in scattered formation. The scattered pattern made them easier to isolate, especially under the cover of night. Concealed in well-camouflaged blinds, we took precise shots to vital areas like the head and neck. These wild pigs, despite their bulk, can sprint up to 30 miles per hour and are surprisingly agile, making every shot count. The deeper the night grew, the bolder they became. Entire groups began to emerge, forcing us to adapt on the fly. With coordinated signals, the whole team unleashed a barrage of fire, cutting down a large portion of the herd. Still, a few cunning stragglers managed to flee into the deeper woods. Realizing the remaining boars were likely regrouping farther in, we altered our tactics and pushed deeper into the forest. Thermoscopes became our eyes in the dark, revealing glowing outlines against the cool night landscape. Through the lens, the wild pigs stood out like embers. I tracked a group moving through a clearing and fired off several quick rounds. Our shots were swift, practiced, and deadly. Though their numbers had thinned after the earlier ambushes, the hunt was far from over. Gunfire punctuated the stillness as each successful shot dropped another target. Every squeeze of the trigger brought a mix of pressure and adrenaline that only those who've hunted under moonlight can truly understand. Just when we thought the action was slowing down, a group of fast-moving boars darted across our path. Their speed and instincts made them difficult to close in on, but our experience paid off. With precise coordination and well-placed shots, the team managed to bring them down. The night's operation was a success, and though exhausting, it left us with a sense of pride and purpose. Wild pigs aren't just a nuisance, they're a growing environmental threat, and each hunt like this isn't just about sport, but about protecting the land we depend on. And in Georgia, that fight is far from over. At exactly 9 p.m., under the cover of darkness, we took position in a vast open field bordering the Flint River Basin Forest, an area notorious for its wild boar activity. Using infrared scopes, it didn't take long to detect the first herd rummaging through the soil in search of food. These nocturnal invaders can cause tens of thousands of dollars in agricultural damage in just one night, especially in southern regions like Georgia, where their numbers have surged. We slipped silently into ambush positions, hearts racing. The moment the herd drew close, we opened fire. One large boar dropped instantly, sending the rest fleeing. But the escape didn't last long. My friend was lying in wait further ahead and delivered another clean shot. As the clock neared 10 p.m., rustling bushes near the forest's edge signaled more movement. We froze, eyes locked in the dark, waiting. And there they were, another group of wild boars, bold and unaware. We split into two flanks to cut off their escape. The lead boar stepped into the open, and in an instant, a shot rang out, silencing it mid-step. The others turned to flee but were met with a hail of bullets from the opposite side.
Horses.
forces.
In recent years, the wild boar population in the southeastern U.S. has exploded to over 6 million, making them a destructive and highly invasive species. With each fallen hog, we knew we were helping contain an unchecked threat. By 1 a.m., the hunt intensified. Just 40 meters south of our position, the unmistakable grunting and snorting of feeding boars echoed from the tall grass. As one massive boar emerged, I took careful aim and fired. A perfect headshot dropped it on the spot. One after another, more targets revealed themselves. Wild boars here seem to operate like clockwork, feeding in consistent patterns every night. This behavior, while destructive, offers hunters a strategic advantage. Despite their speed and agility, several more were taken down as they tried to flee. These animals can sprint up to 30 miles per hour, but when cornered and confused, even the fastest can't outrun a well-placed shot. As dawn approached and the sky turned a pale gray, the forest fell quieter. The once dense sound of rooting and movement gave way to silence, broken only by the occasional final shot. The herd had been thinned significantly. Wild boars are not just a nuisance. They carry diseases, destroy ecosystems, and pose a serious threat to local wildlife and farming. By 4 a.m., exhaustion was setting in, but the team was satisfied. We had made a strong impact that night, and while the battle against these invasive creatures continues, this hunt marked a small but meaningful victory in protecting the land.